That's a dog.
That's matcha.
That's Chris's dog.
That's matcha.
I
Throw up a picture of matcha.
yeah, there you go. Sure, I'll just go to your Facebook right now. I just like gamer fashion and stuff, but these two people I have with me, thank you again for joining me. I feel like they have much more leverage and weight in when it comes to gamer fashion. So I guess if y'all want to introduce yourself real quickly.
I'm Emperiam. I am a cosplayer, Twitch streamer, and as of late, apparently a fashion designer. So that's pretty cool. I actually went to graphic design for my university degree. So I do have a bachelor degree in fine arts, and I've done nothing with it. So it was fun to actually put myself in a project that I actually really had a big heart for, and I got to collaborate with some of the best Toronto fashion people. So yeah, now it's your turn, Chris.
My turn. Oh man, I'm Chris Tongue, just a regular guy. I don't know, maybe like a real life anime side character, maybe, probably. Yeah, I'm like one of the co-founders of Pink City. If you guys don't know what Pink City is, we are a geek lifestyle brand, a clothing brand, but we also throw events and stuff. It's me and my brother Mike, who's not here right now. Yeah, that's about me. Otherwise, I'm just a regular dude.
Do you think gamer fashion's a thing, and why?
I think now it's a thing.
Mhm.
I don't think it used to be a thing, but now it is, for sure.
The availability for it like wasn't really around. Like you saw like the t-shirts you'd get at Walmart. I think I actually still have one from Walmart when I was a kid that had like a plastered Zelda logo on it. Be like, oh sweet, I can wear something that is game related like in my everyday life. But it never became like a fashion trend or a brand even until I think now when like it kind of resurgence into video games and we see the importance of it and how we can implement it in our IRL lives.
Yeah,
IRL lives, that's a double life.
I feel like now we're in like IRL phase 1, but IRLL was like when we could go outside. So yeah, I think that's a place.
No, we used to have IRL. We don't have IRL anymore. We're in quarantine. We're only
IQL.
We only live lives on the internet now. Yeah, as because basically on the same idea of what Emily was saying. Like I think back in the day, like when we were growing up with all this stuff, like video games and anime, like when we were like younger, I don't think there was like a geek fashion or gamer fashion back then. I mean, you'd have like intellectual property logo on a shirt, and like that was it to kind of show that you liked a thing, and that was fine and dandy. And maybe you had like your weird like off thing here and there. Like if like which are probably like relics now, like weird like Dragon Ball Hawaiian shirts, like those like cool like Guy Fieri stuff, like weird things like that, yeah, you find in Walmart. Which actually, if I could get my hands on one of those now, that'd be pretty sick.
Yeah.
But beyond that, it wasn't really like a style or anything. But yeah, I think in the past few years, there's been like an emergence of people actually taking that style seriously and like incorporating like all this geeky stuff into like cool streetwear or like I don't know, cool jackets and all that stuff. I think that's only really been a thing for the past few years, and I think that has a lot to do with like how a lot of this geeky stuff is now more accepted and more mainstream, and people.
It wasn't cool to be back then.
Yeah, I wouldn't even say there's like. I mean, maybe there is, but I don't know the specific stats. But like, I don't know if there's like more gamers now or like more like nerds now. But like, I think people are more open about it. Because I had always been like a dork since I was a kid, but I didn't really like embrace that until like Pink City happened. I dressed like a normal person. Maybe like I had a Transformer shirt or something here and there, but yeah, once Pink started, I fully embraced it. Started dyeing my hair. Started
full full 9.
Because like you said, I was a dork kind of all my life, but you kind of kept it secret because you didn't want to be made fun of. But then I remember being in high school and then people pretending they were into things just to seem cooler, and it was like, what? But now it's like okay to be a geek, and it's accepted. But I can't pinpoint anything. Maybe since like esports, maybe it is around kind of the same time. I think that esports had a little bit of an explosion. It was more like, oh shit, like we can take this seriously now. This isn't just some pastime. Like this is we can A, put money into this, and B, it's a thing now. It's an industry. But
yeah, I feel like what are your kind of by chance happened to like all come together at the same time? Like I was gonna say for me, my like personal moment, and like I don't want to say this to like hype myself up, but like around the time like 2014 2015, like around the time Pink City started happening, like when we first started the company, like we didn't really do nerdy stuff until like the second year in. And then like yeah, we did like we were like, oh, it'd be cool to like combine like anime and like streetwear, and like we hadn't really seen that like too much anywhere. And then like a year later, we started seeing like Hot Topic carrying like Dragon Ball like varsity jackets and stuff, and I was like, yeah, we did jackets like that a year ago. I mean, I'm not saying like we like started the trend, but like I think everything around like happened around the same time. Whatever life, society things, culture things influenced us to hop on that. Probably did the same to everyone else, I think. The zeitgeist, if you will.
Also, I think with with all of our obsession with nostalgia, now being an adult, having the ability to buy something with Dragon Ball Z or Sailor Moon on it is like, it's not just like novelty anymore. It's like it needs to be in my possession, you know?
Yeah, I've had this conversation with my brother, but I've noticed like trends are always looking like 20 years back. So like a while back we were like all obsessed with like the 80s and stuff, and then like recently we've all been like nostalgic for the 90s. I think maybe just everybody in their 20s like just starts to like think back to like when they were younger, their 20s and 30s. For whatever reason, maybe just the fact that we're all living in a quarter life crisis. But no, yeah, the fact that we always look 20 years behind, and I always been joking like for the past few years. I think since like 2016, I was like, yo, just wait, 2020s, we're all gonna be like talking about emo stuff again and like seeing stuff again. And what do you know? MCR came back like within the past year, and like I was gonna actually post a photo of like a tweet that I made in like 2016 or something. And I was like, emo's gonna come back in the next couple of years.
Send me that tweet. I'll make sure to put it in the video.
That was like about like almost like 20 years ago, right?
It's really it's interesting you bring up the idea of nostalgia, because like it kind of goes into, I see a lot of like the Hot Topics, the PacSuns and stuff. They have a lot of merch that revolves around like brands like PlayStation or Nintendo, or like even Atari and Sega and all this stuff. But you see very little Xbox swag that kind of has that aesthetic, and that's just because Xbox was, the new kid on the block. Xbox One, the first Xbox came out in 2001, 2001. So it's like there was a whole generation of gamers who never grew up with an Xbox like being a thing. So we're all nostalgic for, like I could say that now. Like I'm nostalgic for the Xbox 360 and like the later days of the original Xbox. Yeah. But like the way it's implemented.
I know what you mean. Like when you think of Halo, you don't think of Halo being like this like old relic game. Like it still feels like a new thing. Like it doesn't have
Mario. It's not Mario.
It doesn't have the same power as like Mario or even like Mega Man, like for like or anything like that. Like
so that brings me to a thought just came to my head hearing you guys talk. You were referencing a lot of anime stuff. Do you think there's a difference between maybe the aesthetics or like the messaging between someone who's more into gamer fashion versus like anime driven fashion or like comic driven fashion?
Again, I'm curious to hear what you guys think, because like as a company that has like a customer base and like a demographic and like knowing who buys our stuff, absolutely, there is a difference between people who like anime and people who like gaming. Um, but before getting into that, I'm curious if you guys think there's a difference, like if there's a visible difference from like a just like a customer or like a person point of view.
I think the one of the only differences I was gonna say with the gamer merch, it's more like casual. When I think of gamer merch, I think of like jerseys, like the esports jerseys,
Yeah.
like the things that relate to video games. But when I think of anime, I think of like cutesy, have to take a photo of myself in this with my wig on, like I don't know. But I think it all kind of spills over each other and it kind of like intersects a little bit because a bunch of people that play video games are into anime as well. So I think just beefing up Pink City a little bit. But you guys merge both of them really well, you know? Like there's not a divide in your merch where it's like, oh, this is strictly for the anime people side, or like, oh, this is strictly for the gamer side. It's very well blended.
Yeah, it's not even an intentional thing. It's literally like what like me and Mike like. It's like what translates into what we make, and like things that we don't like that we're not familiar with. Like if I haven't watched a thing or I haven't played a game, like we're not gonna have merch for that because I don't know anything about it. Which is why I do collaborations sometimes because we want to work with artists that are familiar with certain properties or like just like different styles in general. But yeah, it's not even an intentional thing. We're just like I like games, I like anime, I like geeky stuff. Like that's what's gonna translate into our clothes.
The people who were watching a lot of anime when they were younger, there was like a clearer almost direction for like the style of clothing they would produce. I think of this ridiculous collab, which is Michael B. Jordan and Coach
it's Naruto.
doing Naruto, yeah, which to me is like one of the wildest collaborations. Just saying that still, like
that's like when Louis Vuitton did it with Lightning.
League, yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, they did League, but they did Final Fantasy 13. Like Lightning was the model on the billboard, and these are the ones.
And that was back in like 2013, 2014, right?
Yeah, it blew my mind.
Yeah. I think it's more so just like a lot of like people who like grew up gaming and then like went into the fashion industry. There's like not enough of a population like in I guess when I'm looking at like all these houses like Louis V or Coach or whatever, there's a smaller percentage of designers who are directly influenced by gaming than there are compared to like maybe like anime. Because I feel like even like in all these really big high class, you know, runway shows, you know, people like Virgil they point to anime. You know, Kanye, they point to anime and stuff. It's not so much gaming. Yeah, he does.
All time is Akira, I'm pretty sure.
Exactly.
Akira and Pacific Rim. I think it's tough too.
Which is why I think particularly like, you know, when there's a game like Final Fantasy VII, or really just Final Fantasy in general, you know, they always kind of like ride this like, there's like an anime fandom about them, but it is a game.
Yeah, they ride that line.
Totally, yeah, FF7 is totally an anime game. Like it's like playing through the remake right now, like all of like the archetypes that are there, the way that they like interact with each other.
Yeah,
I was just going.
So
stop.
Yeah, so there's the transition. So Emily, if you want to take this, or Emp, if you want to take this one away.
Sorry, I was just on that's just the last thing for that point that you're saying, the difference between like anime and gaming, like fashion. Yeah, they're absolutely from like a company, and I don't want to like pretend to be like leader of the industry or something, but just like as like someone who like, you know, is a co-founder of Pink City, which is like a clothing company. There is definitely a difference between the two. We find that like a lot, like people on the anime side of things care a lot more about clothing and fashion and stuff. The gamer side, not so much. And like we've always been trying to pinpoint like the reason that is. And I think it does have a lot to do with what you guys said. And also just like, I don't know, I feel like also like gamers, like they don't, and this is like a very broad stroke that I'm saying, because like I'm looking at like like e-commerce statistics. But like, yeah, when we find like conventions and stuff, like usually people who are like into anime will buy our stuff, less so people who are like gamers. Because I don't know, I feel like they care more about gaming. Like they care so much about gaming that they really couldn't care less about like fashion. Again, this is like a very broad stroke for like very hardcore gamers, but we found that like I don't know, they like logos on tees and they're fine with that. Whereas like anime people are like so inspired by like the characters that they love and like their styles and like just even art styles for like anime. Like it's an art form in itself. Like it's you're watching drawings move, right? Um, and that translates way easier to like clothing, I think. And just like I think the attitude too, like hardcore anime fans are like weebs as they would call themselves or people would call them, and like gamers are like would be just like super obsessed with just like getting more games, which is like $80 plus a pop, like that's a lot of money, or like beefing up their PC, and like they've just got a lot of expenses, I suppose. Whereas like anime people, like what they can buy like mangas and like just more anime related memorabilia.
The cost is a little less almost in terms of that disposable
Yeah,
income.
so they have more freedom to like, and this is just like strictly like looking at the financial side as like a company. Um, yeah, they have like a lot more, I guess, flexibility with what they spend their money on, I suppose. Um, Again, these are all very broad strokes because it's just looking at it from like I'm seeing stats. Like, why are the stats like this? But yeah, the past little while we're trying to currently to like appease more to like the gamer side and like trying to get more of that audience on board with our stuff. And it is like, and I think over the past like year or two, it has like evolved a bit, like the gamer fashion specifically, which is cool, which is great. Um, yeah, that's just all what I had to say about it.
You just gave me like 3 other podcasts like ideas. it's like oh I need who I need like Chris to talk to
Yeah.
next.
Well,
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, and we're not even like a huge company or anything. Like the things I'm looking at are very filtered
In,
through like
in the grand
lens
scheme of things.
of what Pink City sees. Like obviously within the culture, there's much more to what I'm saying. It's just
Broad
this is what
strokes. Broad
I see.
strokes. Yeah.
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 Broad strokes. Broad
Broad
strokes.
strokes. Speaking
Broad
of
strokes.
broad, it's like being hit by a cloudbuster. It's like being hit by a cloudbuster. It's so
I
broad.
fucking knew that segue was coming. Like, oh my god. Broad strokes, broad sword, buster sword, that's right.
Exactly. So yeah, no. So Emp, you just dropped a clothing line with this motherfucker right here.
I did.
Yeah.
And I was equal parts nervous and excited. Because I've never done this before. I mean, I have done this before, but we're not going to talk about it. So this was kind of like my baby because when I think it was just a Facebook message.
I don't
Either
remember
I
how it started. I was trying to think about how it started. I can't. I think you're just like, or I was just like, hey, do you ever? Or I don't even know.
I don't know either, but it was like a Facebook message. Like, yeah, it was like,
because
do you want to make
we had a Japan trip planned, and then we were talking about FF7 and how it was going to come out around the same time. And then maybe you were like, I have FF7. Yeah, I know. Rest in peace, our dream Japan trip. It's okay. We'll just push it to next year. It just would have been great to be in Japan as FF7 came out. Oh,
the whole country was celebrating.
It would have been great. Yeah. Don't talk about it. I'm gonna cry. Yeah, I think it was just like a random message. I don't remember how it came up. Something like that.
It was a while ago though. It was in like January, maybe December when it happened.
Something
and
like
then I was like, oh my god, I'm making Final Fantasy VII merch. This game is like my favorite games. First game I ever played. It got me into gaming, kind of opened the gates for me there. And at first I was really intimidated because seeing Pink City merch, I was like, I can't do that. There's no way I can do that. I can't draw. Like I'm not an artistic person. And then I was like, I drew all these things out. I put them on the computer and I was like, I fucking hate this. I guess like every artist does. But then I was like, okay, reel it back in. How can you add something from your expertise, from your skill set, whatever? So I was like, oh, you know what? I actually really love working with type and just the simple, little iconography kind of thing. So I did a bunch of drafts and then the merch kind of came out. And plus, this is a funny story. So the materia on the sleeve Chris mentioned it as an idea afterwards, but when I was younger, like, I don't know, maybe 14, I wanted tattoos so badly when I was 14.
Oh, you're gonna get it?
And I was literally, like, I had materia drawn. I was like, I'm gonna get it like all down my arm. It's gonna look sick. I'm so glad that never went through, because that would have been a fucking terrible tattoo.
I mean, that could be cool, but also
if it was small, yeah, but I wanted it like big.
yeah, I feel like people who don't know what Final Fantasy VII is, they'd be like, "Why do you just have circles on you?"
Yeah, this fucking thing. Yeah, these are all the materia types that you can get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say, with like all of our collaborations, there are differing amounts of like input, I guess. Like some people we work with them like I'll come up with an idea and then they'll like turn it into like an art piece. Like with some of Jay Wong's designs, like I'd be like, oh, like it'd be cool to have like this as like an illustration, and then he like put together something beautiful. And then like some people will have an idea, and then I'll help them like put together the graphic, or like there are differing levels. And like Lavina like will basically design the whole thing herself with like our input and like some ideas here and there. But I will say Emily's designs are like pretty much all her. It's like almost like 100% like her idea. I think I had some input and some feedback for some things, or like where things could be, or like how things could be displayed on a shirt or a long sleeve. But I will say give Emily all the credit for the design itself, because that's all her.
Aw, thanks, Ian.
Yay!
Yay.
Yeah, I mean,
How is
like,
it?
Yeah, but now DC, that's yay.
click link here.
Smash that like button, everybody.
Oh my god! Welcome back to my phone.
Yeah, just want to give a shout out. Just the nature of these collaborations, we do always want to work with like local artists and like people who maybe don't necessarily have a platform to do things like this. So I want to give credit where it's due. Also, the fact that we are in this like shitty quarantine, usually along with like a lot of our collab releases, we'll have like a really cool lookbook shoot and like a video, and then like an artist spotlight video for like Emperiam specifically, where we would like interview her about her and like her art and like the inspirations behind the piece. But unfortunately, we can't shoot any of that because we're all stuck at home.
Yep.
So stay tuned. Like as soon as all this is over, we're gonna put together like a very related campaign, I guess, for the thing. Right now, we just like I sent her the samples. They did a simple shoot just so we could have something on our website for when Final Fantasy VII came out. But yeah, it's not. We don't have all like the creative stuff that we would ideally have with every collab.
Yeah.
So
diving into those creative elements, like just going over things, I guess, again in broad strokes, in Cloudbuster strokes, like you mentioned the type. You know, what else did you find were like essentials or key design choices that you made, you know, for these pieces?
I think for me, I tried to design something first and foremost, and this may sound selfish, but this was broad strokes, whatever. I wanted to design something that I actually wanted to wear. You know, like I took people's opinions, obviously, on it, but initially the whole core of it was like, do you, Emperiam, personally want to wear something that you have made? And if the answer was no, I scrapped it. So with all of this, like, it's truly something that I want to wear on my body. It's truly something that I want to, give out to the world as like, here's something cool that I made. I tried to add, well, initially I wanted to make a bunch of stuff, but it kind of just turned out that, okay, kind of focus your stuff on 2 really good pieces and then kind of scrap it, because obviously Tifa is my favorite Final Fantasy character, and I really, really wanted to make something like Tifa, like tribute to Tifa kind of thing. But I realized that Cloud is just not more accepted, but he's way more popular than Tifa.
He's on the cover of the game.
Yeah, the Buster Sword is more iconic than
iconic, right?
Icon from the game, basically.
Yeah, and I love the little thing about anime merch, we'll go back to that a little bit. I love the little nods they have. They don't outright say this is anime merch, but they have little nods to it. So I wanted in my things to have little nods to Cloud Strife. So you see the Strife thing, but Strife also means like, you know, chaos or in peril, or, you know, not, that's not the Western definition for it, but you know what I mean? Yeah, it's little nods instead of like in your face, like Final Fantasy. And for the limit T, I wanted to kind of go back into the original game because it just means so much to me. And with limit, that was always just like the coolest thing as a kid, like fighting, and then all of a sudden your limit comes and you're like, what? I have this like ultimate ability, and it always just like you could like grow from it. So yeah, having something limit related was really important to me. And, like, I just think having something with like you're at your limit on your shirt, people are like, oh shit, like don't fuck with that guy, don't fuck with that woman, don't fuck with that person, like they're at their limit, you know.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, yeah. Well, that's cool, because I mean, you said that this is a game that this was like the first game that really opened the whole door to you, to the world of gaming. So like, you know, not only is the merch in general very personal to you, but to have a specific item that I think speaks to something that is very, I guess, relatable or like specific or important in like anyone's personal growth, almost like, you know, that's pretty cool too. Like I feel like I can't think of that many examples of like an article of clothing pertaining to gaming that touch upon something very, I guess, like motivational or personal in a way. So yeah. How do I fix this? Okay, there we go. I fixed it. Oh my god, you guys are on opposite sides now.
I think Final Fantasy VII is like, I feel like it represents you very well, Emily. It is like a weird, perfect balance between like gaming and anime, because like it's fully like an anime like story and characters, and like it's JRPG, right? That's just
Yeah.
all the Final Fantasies are like that.
It's
I don't know, it suits you, I feel, which is perfect for this release.
That makes me so happy.
It's so interesting.
Also, let's girl, don't at me.
It's so interesting though, like to think of where Final Fantasy sits in, to use this word again, the zeitgeist of the zeitgeist, yeah. Of just
zeitgeist.
Yeah, but just like in gaming, like it's this one IP, like it's one of those IPs where like every time they do something new, it's like there's a whole the fandom like always finds something to complain about. The dev times are like super long, but like it just like it's one of those immortal gaming like like fandoms. So like it's no wonder that, you know, people take so much away from the franchise, they internalize that, and then in turn just want to wear that literally on their sleeve or on their chest or whatever, you know, rep that feeling they get from the game. I mean, like what the fuck else can you think of like that does that? Like maybe outside of gaming, you know, or does it matter?
I mean, obviously in gaming, there's a lot of like icons like Mario and like Sonic and stuff like that. And I would fully say like Final Fantasy VII in terms of like, yeah, I think it has like almost the same impact for a lot of people that some of these other icons have, like Zelda or that whole franchise. Yeah, I don't know. It's something about FF7 just rubs people the right way.
It's like a combination of the story, like the you know, corrupt government. There was something so real about it, but yet still so far removed from reality. You could like see parts of it, like the eco-terrorism, the corrupt government, you know, not feeling like you're belonging. And I still remember on the original box set, because it came out in 97, but one of the like testimonials or whatever on the back of it was quite possibly the greatest game ever made.
Whoa.
Is on the back of it. I will never forget that. So even back then, like it was at the peak of
imagine being the reviewer that said that, and then like to this day, like having that on the box art and being like, well, was I wrong?
I mean, 23 years later, not only are we remaking it, but like it's impacting people in a big way. You know, it's got not those not just the legs to live this long, but also like the claws to dig in. Ah.
The essence is just so deeply embedded within it, and it's
yeah.
I don't know. That was it. Yeah.
So
Period.
so now we're gonna get to a divisive topic. Then, who's got the best outfit in all of Final Fantasy VII? You got to pick one.
Ooh. It's hard to say because like you either have like because like the FF7 remake is at least the one we have right now is only like up until you leave Midgar, right? So like there's all the characters that happen afterwards, but the only like outfits that we know for those people are like they're like shitty PS1 sprites.
Yeah.
So like I feel like we need to see their redesigns.
That's
have
true.
A fair judgment, but I guess for like right now,
yeah, let's
like,
focus on the part of Final Fantasy VII that's out. Then I guess.
Yeah. Well, so I got my copy really late. It came in the mail like on Wednesday, so I've just been trying to play whenever I can. So I only just got to the second. I'm like just about to start the second bombing.
Okay.
Mission. So I'm like not far at all. I'm just like dealing with flirty Jesse right now.
Love you, Jesse.
But I have just based on like cinematics and stuff. I will say like Cloud and those girls when they put on those dresses, like they're looking pretty. Those are some pretty solid outfits.
Yeah.
Especially Cloud.
I just love how they still kept his spiky hair. Like it doesn't even look like it looks like when you get those glasses with the mustache on them. Like that's what Cloud's cross-dressing outfit looks like. I would say so. I'm gonna be biased, obviously, and say Tifa. Her redesign though is great. Giving her thigh highs.
Really good, yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna agree with you. I think Tifa. I think it's Tifa.
But I haven't got to him yet. But Rufus.
I was gonna say Rufus looks fucking.
Like rave pants.
Yeah, he's got the drip. He's got the all white, the all white. Yeah.
When he walks into the room, man, you know.
Yeah, he looks pretty sick. Also, the guy Rosh, the fucking weirdo dude on the motorcycle.
That dude needs to chill the fuck out.
He's whack, but like his hair is kind of cool. Like his style is kind of cool. He's got a fucking cool bike. Like he's got some swag going on.
I mean, I do. And I gotta say though, like I feel like Tifa is like after Cloud, people think of Tifa. That's me personally. Like I feel like it like for some reason.
Or
like,
Aerith.
Yeah.
A lot of people think that. It's like the trifecta. It's the Holy Trinity.
Yeah, but Aerith also has the getting killed thing. I feel like if you're a character and you get killed.
Spoiler.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Game's only been out for 23 years. Yeah. Oh, sorry. But you know what I mean? Like narratively, it's like if you have a really epic death, I already feel like that's like an iconography like cheat. You know what I mean? Like from a purely storytelling perspective. So like what is it about not just Tifa's character? Because that I feel like that's pretty clear why we're so in love with her. But like how does her look, specifically I guess her outfit, like reflect that character so well? And in turn, Cloud, I guess then those two being the big protagonists. Yeah.
I mean, Tifa's outfit makes more sense now. I think when they first made her, it was made from a downstairs brain perspective rather than an upstairs brain. Mostly, and I'll tell you why. I
really want to hear this, actually. Yeah.
Okay, I could do a demonstration, but I'll hold off for now. So her outfit before was that tight leather skirt with the one sports bra. She wasn't actually wearing an other bra because I have an action figure. She's not wearing a bra, so it's just like this one little thing. And she's very gifted. She's very blessed in the breast department. Yeah. And if you are a fighter, if you need that mobility for everything, having a tight leather skirt it's not comfortable. It's going to kind of prohibit you. She did well because she's fictional and it made sense. But now she's got the skirt that can kind of like flow a little bit better. She's got the shorts underneath. She's got the armor on here, which makes more sense than having just like the one elbow piece and then cute little gloves with materia in them. And she's wearing 2 sports bras because she needs the support. So like to me, coming back into it as like a female who has a brain and understands physics and everything, like giving her 2 sports bras and making her skirt more flowy for mobility's sake, like that just made so much sense to me. And just giving her thigh highs was just, they did that for everyone. Really.
Her design's amazing.
Yeah, well, that's actually really cool. You break that down, because it's like, I think it's a good example of how you can homage an iconic look, and sort of like maybe like work past the quote unquote problematic aspects of it, and you still remain very true to the core of that outfit, the core of that character, but just be like, yeah, we fucking gotta move on. And I feel like Mortal Kombat's also a good example of this, where they updated like Sonya Blade, and fucking
Kitana actually looks Asian now.
yeah, right. You know what I mean? It's like they're like,
yeah,
you still
like
have
the weird phase where she's like Italian looking for.
Yeah, that was strange, but like,
Nani?
Especially with all these remakes are like fucking like Mortal Kombat's on its like, we're on Mortal Kombat 11 now. What the hell? Like, like. There's so many design choices that are just archaic and offensive at this point, or just wrong. So, from a design perspective, it's like, how do you stay true to what was set in stone back in the day, but like, to your point, I guess, make it pragmatic. Do you think they've done anything like that for Cloud?
Well, considering that Cloud carries an 80-pound sword with him at all times, I mean, he can just wear whatever he wants at this point.
The other day I had to Google, how does Cloud's sword stay on his back? Because he just like puts it's a magnet, apparently.
It's a magnet, yeah. Yeah, it's a huge magnet.
Was that always canon, or?
Yeah, I think so, because he always had it.
Theoretically, if he's like running through like a Shinra facility, and he's like like when you're in those like situations where you have to slide through the things.
Yeah.
Do you ever think, like, this is a complete left field question, but like we're in an age where I feel like, particularly in high fashion, and this may have always been the case, but it's like just having like weird accessories is always the thing. Like, we've got like the fucking Supreme, and like the snow goggles are a big thing, and like, like, for whatever reason, like fucking like Supreme bricks, Supreme Oreos and shit. You ever think like fucking just like swords, like we're gonna get like really like absurd swords are just gonna be like a fashion statement at one point?
Since like 2016 maybe, I've been trying to make capes a thing. The capes, I think, were sick. Like I fucking brought a cape to Fashion Week here. And like I wore a cape and everything.
Did you look like Ezio Auditore? Like, what the fuck were you like?
No, I had like, it was like I had like camo pants and like this like olive like dark green like cape on, and like I don't know, I thought I looked cool. I had like a G.I. Joe meets Final Fantasy meets fucking I don't know, fantasy adventure swag going on. Capes are still not a thing.
I want you to bring capes back, because I actually have like this cape sweater that I specifically bought because nobody makes cape shit, and capes just look so cool.
Yeah, I try to find a photo. I'll try to find a photo of me in the cape, but from Fashion Week. But
if you're interested in capes, reach out to Volanti. I don't know if you know them, but I feel like they'd be a group that could make you a cape.
I just want capes to be like a thing, like normal to wear capes.
Yeah.
Lando, wasn't that a whole bit Lando Calrissian had?
Yeah, he does have a cape collection.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, in the Millennium Falcon, he's like, look, these are all my capes.
I found that guy. That guy's a cape.
Well, he's also Donald Glover. So it's like, if you're Donald Glover, you can do whatever the fuck you want,
Fuck what Edna from The Incredibles says. Capes, yes to capes.
Yeah, we're not going to be in wind tunnels. Like, we're not going to be fighting crime in these capes. We just want people to stay the fuck away from us. Like, can you imagine just having a cape? No one's going to come close to you because you're like, oh, I don't want to get hit by the cape.
That's true, actually. Yeah. So I guess
it'll be good for our world right now, because you could have like a cape with like a scarfy part. You could just be like,
it's like quarantine cape.
Yeah, you can just pull up.
Yeah. Isn't it crazy that you can go into a bank with a mask on right now?
Yeah. Some people's like outfits going out, not gonna lie, they look pretty cool with the masks on and stuff.
Some of them look cool, but some of them look absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, some of them look like horrible, but then like I don't know, a lot of people are making their own masks and like from their own fabrics and stuff.
Yeah. it's been a lot easier to identify who weebs are for me because like I already see it's like people who have like yeah, it's like they have like a cat whiskers on their mask or something. I'm like, all right, like I know you got that from like I don't know.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I was at the grocery store today and I saw someone. She had like the clearly weeb face mask on. It had like whiskers on it, and then like she turns around and there's like a Todoroki like slogan on her back. I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. It's like, oh, of course. Oh man, all right. Well, I'd say yeah, let's wrap this soon because I hate fucking hour-long podcasts and we're at 15 minutes.
That went by so fast.
I know, yeah. Well, also to be fair, like we had like a 5-minute intro of me trying to figure out how to use my webcam, and then.
Yeah, I could do a final plug on the whole mask thing we were talking about.
Oh yeah, plug time.
Probably, I don't know when you're gonna post this or whatever, but next week, or a little while ago, depending when this came out. We're gonna launch we've been working on this for a while. We just didn't really have this just because everything has been happening so fast. We getting like a sample together and everything took a while. But we're gonna release a pair, like a top and pajama pants so you can live up your quarantine in style. But we're gonna be donating proceeds to PPE, like personal protective equipment for our local hospitals. Just to like help fight this whole COVID-19 situation. And the design, if you want to look right here, it's
share your screen. Share your screen.
What? No, it's on me right now.
Oh. Fuck. All right.
Yeah, it's this long sleeve and then matching pajama pants. It's the Crush Card virus from Yu-Gi-Oh! One of Kaiba's famous cards. We thought it'd be cool to like do like the virus like on as a pattern on a shirt, and then like kind of ironically be like death to the coronavirus. So I think it's really cool. I don't know, it's hard to see the colors, but it's like a deep purple and then like it's like hot pink text. Ooh, and the back. Holographic, bitch.
Oh shit! Wow, that's big.
Yeah,
literally
holographic. So yeah, we're gonna have the matching top and pants, and then yeah, proceeds will be going towards our hospitals because they need masks and they need gloves and they need protective equipment. So we want to, support in some way. It would have been great to do this like toward the beginning of all this madness, but yeah, we didn't get these samples until like 2 days ago.
Yeah.
And we've been just trying to figure all that out and all the logistics.
Yeah.
And we're finally ready.
Shoot me a link to that and I'll make sure it goes with.
Yeah. We'll probably drop it like
this. Yeah. You too, Em. You should post me. Send me links to all the fucking Final Fantasy VII merch.
BigC.ca.
Oh man, I probably should have thought this outro through more.
There's my plug.
Anything you want to plug?
Play the Final Fantasy VII remake.
So
Don't
good.
buy more toilet paper than you need to. Wash your fucking hands. Stay at home.
I can't.
Fashion, everybody.
Fashion. Wait, hang on. Let me finish. There we go.
Fashion. It's in the game. Wait, that's what you take.
EA Fashion. It'll cost you $30 extra for the complete outfit. Fuck. How should I end this? I don't know. I guess I'll think of a better way to end this next podcast, next video recording, whatever.
Yeah.
Because this can just end like this. There you go. Yeah. I guess. Yeah.
The snazzy outro line, like, stay stylish. Gamer.
I was trying to think of a way to.
I hate that.
That was awful.
It just left my mouth. I wanted to kill myself.
It's like, oh god, regret all of this. Yeah, check out Pink City if you haven't already. Follow Emperiam. Love both of them.
P.ca. If you type in .com, you will not be taken to the right place.
That's true. Both of these motherfuckers are Canadian. So.
Yeah.
Do the nuts. I swear to God, by next podcast or whatever.